Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Andy Teshordo, and today I am going to be covering ships, possible ships we may or may not see in the month of August of 2018. In the previous video I made, I talked about possible bounty hunters that could come in. Also in that video, I also mentioned Zuckuss and Forlom. Obviously, they're not going to be in this month because it's all Clone Wars Eric bounty hunters. But they could add a few of these ships in my list, but we may or may not see from there. Another reason why I mentioned Zuckuss and Forlom in the previous video as well as this video is it could be later down the road they'll give us a month of bounty hunter ships, and then they decide to complete adding Zuckuss and Forlom because they have their own ship, and it would kind of be an introduction to that in that area. So the first one I want to talk about is the Rogue class starfighter, the Zondu Blood, which is Cad Bane's ship. Obviously, it was given to him by Darth Sidious, and so on. If you want a really detailed video or detailed info on this ship, look up something like Meta Nerds and all the other Star Wars info people. But this is an interesting and unique ship that I could see being added into the game, especially since we have Cad Bane, and I think his ship is actually in the background data. But Cad Bane's already in the game. Yes, we're hoping he gets a rework this month. We'll see if him or Zam Wesell gets a rework in this month, because June and July for Lando and HK being login characters, they didn't get touched whatsoever, and that's just a sad disappointment. But outside of that, we'll see if, outside of Cad Bane possibly getting a rework this month, the Rogue class starfighter could be a very possible ship that may come this month. I'm leaning more towards what I said in the previous video. It's just going to be the bounty hunters, and then they'll save another month, 3-6 months down the road, where they just, throw a ton of starfighters in and go with it. The next one is the Punishing One. This is Dengar's ship, which is a modified Jumpmaster 5000. I just want to at least, say what type of ship it was. Because I'm actually, to be honest, I'm actually a big fan of ships in general. I like certain ships in Star Wars. Unfortunately, I don't like the ship mode as much in Galaxy of Heroes. I still hope they improve more. And maybe some of it improving being more things to do with ships, but not just that, adding more ships. And, maybe having a couple of months, 2 to 3 months each year to focus on, mostly on ships. But yeah, the Punishing One, we'd have Dengar's ship, because he's been in the game for almost ever. The next one is Forlom and Zuckuss' ship, which is the modified G-1A starfighter, Mist Hunter. I will say, I did mention again in the previous video, talking about Zuckuss Forlom. So this could be a ship that would introduce a month of bounty hunter ships later the end of this year, or maybe the beginning of next year, where they add those two characters plus this ship, and then plus the other bounty hunter ships, just to get the ships out there. We'll see on that one. Modified Aggressor Assault Fighter, or the IG-2000, which obviously is IG-88's ship, and it's a really cool ship. Really cool, interesting ship. I will say one thing is that most of the insides are, he does have to, he's a bounty hunter, so he has to have some areas where it's breathable, but he can pursue, he can take his ships to higher, I don't know the right words, to higher G-forces, because he's a droid body. He can withstand it, compared to organics. But this is another ship that could be added in just because IG-88 is in the ship, or in the game. I do want to say before I continue on, Jango Fett's ship is not in here. Basically the other version of the Slave One. I also didn't add young Boba Fett's ship yet, even though it could be young Boba and Aurra Sing piloting that ship. I feel like having only Jango's ship and Boba Fett's ship version of Slave Ones are just what we need, because right now, at least in Clone Wars, young Boba's ship is essentially Jango's ship, at least until Hondo takes it over. But I'll talk about Hondo in another video. The modified YV-666 light freighter, the Houndstooth Vosk ship, which also makes an appearance in Clone Wars. This was as well as this model of ship also makes another appearance in the Clone Wars when Obi-Wan Kenobi goes undercover as Rako Hardeen. This is a type of ship that's used. It's just a regular YV-666 light freighter. So, But yeah, Bosk ship. Bosk has recently been added to the game. I was thinking they might actually add Bosk ship in, but they did not. They may again maybe saving that for another time. The SS-54 Salt Ship Halo. It's a weird name for it. As you can see, Wookiees are jumping out. This is the ship that's used by Sugi. I talked about her at the end of the last video, being a possible light side bounty hunter. And this would be a light side bounty hunting ship, scoundrel ship. So yeah, kind of cool. And that is the end of the list. I like how I lined it up to where at least Sugi and her ship are the last on the videos, because I feel like they would be some of the unique few light side bounty hunters versus all the other bounty hunters being dark, unless they want to keep most regular scoundrels light and most bounty hunters, or if not all bounty hunters, dark. I don't know if they're going to do that. I just don't know, because there's some scoundrels that make sense to be dark side. Like, if they add Drayden Voss, or whatever his name is, and from Solo, he'd be a dark side character. The Gamorrean Guard is a dark side character, scoundrel. Who knows, they might eventually add a Gamorrean faction. I talked about that in a previous video, when they first released Bastila and Jolie Bendo. Talked about their marquee event when they had those characters in it. But other than that, those are the ships I could see being added. There's only one other bounty hunter that actually had a ship, and I'm going to cover that in another video. Stay tuned for that as well. Again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all those that watch the videos I make, and you guys have a wonderful day.